Hey guys, welcome back to The Groove, episode 23, I believe. It's been a little while. I've been kind of going on like every other week episode drops because my life has been so crazy and insane, and I literally this has not been at the forefront of my brain, literally at all. I have been thinking of literally everything else under the sun. And that is like starting to come to a conclusion, which is starting to freak me out a little bit. But I finished my capstone the other day, which is absolutely insane. I've been working on it for a year. If you guys have been around and know me well enough, I have only been thinking about hi-hat stands for drummers for the past 9 months of my life. And that has finally come to a close. I hope it's not completely gone. Like, I would love to carry it on in the future and like continue my growth with this product that I ultimately ended up calling Breakdown. So I'm hoping that like it's not the end of Breakdown and that it continues to develop as time goes on. But who knows? As of right now, I've done my final presentation. I got really good feedback. I had a lot of people talk to me. A lot of people complimented me. It was just really awesome to actually get like good feedback on it, on something that you've been working on and grinding like forever on. It's just so crazy because I remember when I was a freshman and I was literally like cutting with an X-Acto knife like a shoe out of chipboard, and I had to like put it together to make it look 3D. And then right in the other room was people working on their capstones and like making like full on products, and I was just always in absolute awe and like I'm never going to be able to do that. Like, that's insane. How can they do that? And then I did it. Like, I just did it. And it's actually so crazy. I was like so emotional leading up to it a little bit, and like during it I was very emotional, like the end. I was like super nervous. I don't even know if it was like fully nerves, because I was like super excited to just be like, this is what I've been working on for a year and this is how awesome it is and I'm really proud of myself. But at the same time, it was just like, I think the nerves were coming from me being like scared of what's next, like me being nervous about what to do after, I guess, because like I don't know what to do now. Like today I went to class, I didn't have to work on my capstone anymore. Like, I didn't have to develop a hi-hat stand anymore, and I was exhausted from the weekend, so I just kind of sat there all day. And like I did other projects because like I always do things. Like, I'm never just sitting doing nothing. But I wasn't working on anything school related when I technically should be, because I do have other things going on. But my brain has just been on autopilot for hi-hat stands for so long, and now that part is like shut down. But that was the biggest part of my brain for a year, where it was like, that was the one that was so fun and I was so adamant about. Like, that part of my brain was the thing that kept me going and kept me on that like wave of like, okay, well, I need to do all my other things first before I do this, because I have my hi-hat stand arch needs to be done by the end of this week. Like, I don't have that big overarching project that I need to get done now, so it makes everything else seem a little bit less motivated, because there's nothing competing, I guess. And the other thing is that like graduation is literally 3 weeks away, I think. 3-4 weeks away, and I know it's just gonna go like that, and everything's just gonna whoosh and be gone in like 2 seconds before I can even think about it. And that is just like now a looming thing over top of me, because that was like all the way over here before because my hi-hat stand was right here. But now my hi-hat stand is all the way over here, and now graduation is slowly getting ready to take over that place of the hi-hat stand. If it hasn't already in my brain, I don't know. It's just like, oh. And then there's always so many things going on in my social life that are so amazing and great, but it's just like everything is hitting at once, and it's like, oh my God, I'm juggling too many. I'm not juggling too many things. Like, I'm totally fine and everything is so good, but it's also like one thing leaves, I don't even have full time to like think about it and decompress and be like, yeah, I just made a hi-hat stand and it works and it's better than the original one. I can't even like think about that right now because I have this over here that I have to worry about now, and it's craziness. It's actually craziness. And then after graduation I have to figure out who I am as a person and who I want to be for the rest of my life. And I'm 22 years old. Like, what do you mean? I don't know. I've talked about this before where I feel like I have a good grasp on who I am as a person, but now it's like I really have to put that to the test because I'm going to be looking for jobs. But I will talk about that after we take this short little break and listen to 3 awesome songs that I've found recently. And the last one is made by a very dear friend of mine. First up, we have What You Meant to Me by Flower Boy. Heard this yesterday in the car when I was at a farm, and I loved it. And then Falling Down a Well by Jack J. Another banger that I found recently. And Unsaid by J-Lock and Fiona Keller. Banger and a half, and stay tuned for more announcements from Mr. J-Lock himself. I will not announce those things because that's not my stuff. But anyways, I hope you guys enjoy these next 3 songs, and here we go. And once again, that was What You Meant to Me by Flower Boy, Falling Down a Well by Jack J, and Unsaid by J-Lock and Fiona Keller. Anyways, I've had a very existential day today, kind of. Not really, but like just a tad. Um, I've been realizing recently that I've been bored with music, which is, whoa, crazy to say because I literally run a music podcast, so that's kind of insane. But I don't know, I just keep hitting shuffle and I keep hearing the same songs, which is a thing that happens. But now it's like I'm hearing the same songs, but it's not the same song, it just sounds the same. Like everything's just starting to blend together and sound the same to me, and nothing is exciting me anymore. So I've found myself going into the content wheelhouse of watching YouTube videos and listening to podcasts. This is a very untapped thing for me. I was never a YouTube kid. Like, I literally never watched YouTube as a kid. In middle school, I like watched Logan Paul for like a month, and then I watched Lance Stewart for like a month. And it never I never stuck to it. And the only time I really watched YouTube was when my friends would like come over my house and make me watch YouTube. So I was never a YouTube girly. And it's funny that I run a podcast, but I never listen to podcasts. Like, that's just not my thing. I was always listening to music, whatever else. But for some odd reason in my recent months of life, I have just been bored. I've been bored with music, and I've found a lot of new music. It's not that I'm not finding anything new. It's just I'm bored. Like, I don't know why. Maybe I'm just, my brain is rewiring. Like, I don't really know what's going on. But I'm just bored. Like, I'm always skipping a song. Like, I can never find a song that I want to listen to. And I've been listening to a lot of podcasts and YouTube videos, and I've been, like, just listening to people grapple with their own lives, which is it's like weird because I do that to y'all. Like, I make you guys listen to my life, and whether you care or not, I don't know. But I listened to Emma Chamberlain's podcast today, and I my qualms with Emma Chamberlain, which might be problematic that I have qualms with her, but like whatever. Um but she had an episode called Growing is Uncomfortable, LOL. And I listened to the whole thing today and I was relating to her so much in a way that I never thought I could relate to like her. Cuz here's my problem with her actually. I feel like she tries to be relatable, but at the same time she is a celebrity. So it's like there's still that weird gap of like you're making tons of money to sit and talk in a microphone. And maybe I will do that one day too. Who knows? But it's just like you can't, I don't know. She just tries to be a little bit too relatable, and maybe that's me faulting her for being a human, which is kind of effed up if you really think about it. But whatever. She was talking about stuff where she's in a creative field and she's getting to the point where like she doesn't know what's next, and it's making her uncomfortable because for the life of her whole career and all her life she has felt excited to move forward because she always knew what was next. But now she's in this state of mind where it's like she doesn't enjoy what she does anymore in a way that like she doesn't feel fulfilled. And now like moving forward, she doesn't know what to do, and like she doesn't have anything lined up, and that's bothering her. And not that I'm bothered because I kind of enjoy the unknown. Like I've always been comfortable in the uncomfortable of like I'll figure it out. I'll be chilling. I'll figure it out. I know I'll figure it out. But when it comes to the podcasting portion of my life, I relate to her a lot because I'm kind of, as you can tell, I'm tapped out of the groove a little bit. Like, I haven't been doing as many interviews. I'm releasing less episodes. I'm releasing them less often. I'm just, like, focusing on other things in my life. And, like, the way that I'm doing this right now is not necessarily fulfilling and grappling to me anymore. Like, I don't feel connected to this anymore in the way that I used to. So, I don't know. So, that's just been kind of leading me to question a lot of, like, what I want to do and who I want to be and, like, what I want to put into this. And because now, like, this has always been a college thing for me. Like, I started this because of Radio Club at my college, and college is ending. So, it's, like, I've been grappling with this question of, like, do I even continue this podcast at all? And the question is, yes, I'm going to continue it. But how I'm going to continue it, I don't know yet. So stay tuned for that. But while you take that big pill that I just threw at you in, we have 3 more songs for you to decompress to. Up first is Plans by Thumber. I think that's how you say it. Their album cover is so cool, so we're going to listen to that. And then we're going to listen to Sad Anymore by Madhavi Devi. Banger of a tune, and the promoting for this has been so good. The reels just keep coming, and they keep getting better. And then we have 4 Walls by Tableek. So I hope you guys enjoy these next 3 songs as much as I do. And here we go. And once again, that was Plans by Thumber, Sad Anymore by Madhavi Devi, and 4 Walls by Tableek. Yeah, but that's kind of like, I'm bringing it back to what I was talking about earlier, but it's kind of where I've been at in things. And it's also kind of been coming into my career too, because I have to get a full-time job, guys. I have to start living like a real human and like having a 9 to 5 for the rest of my life, figuring out where I want to live for the rest of my life. Where will I get a house one day? Am I open to moving across the country? Am I open to living abroad? Like, I don't know, guys. I feel like I've had this conversation with a few people before, and I don't want to freak anyone out because I'm not going anywhere anytime soon, but I think it would be stupid for me as a 22-year-old who is just entering the real world to limit myself to anything, if that makes any sense. Like, obviously, I have loved ones and people that I care about in this area that I would never want to leave. Like, it would be gut-wrenchingly hard for me to, like, separate myself from the life that I have here. So I know for a fact that I do not want to do that anytime soon. But in that same breath, not even considering doing something else, I think is stupid. I think I should allow myself to have all the options laid out for me and truly take them all in, because if I limit myself now, then I will completely fog any potential for my life to be what it should be in the future, if that makes any sense. Not that I think that there is something that your life should be. I just kind of want to be open to anything. I don't know if that makes any sense. And it just makes everything more scary, honestly, when you think about it like that. Because I don't know. I've been a huge advocate for traveling ever since I started traveling. And I stick to that. I think traveling is probably the best thing you can do. But it just makes you think, it makes you realize, and it makes you think in a completely different way, because you've experienced how large the world is, and you've experienced how literally just being 2 hours away from where you are right now, you are entering into a whole new culture of people, whole new way of living, whole new way of just like being whatever. And it's literally 2 hours away. So it's the fact that that can happen is just like, there could be something else in the world that would be like, for a job or whatever, that could be more fulfilling, if that makes any sense. Like, it's just like, I'm so used to this way of life, of like the Philly life, the Delco life, like whatever. But when I go to California, I love that way too. But like, would that be fulfilling for me? I don't know. But I feel like it would be stupid to not be open to trying that out, you know? I don't know. I'm saying all of this, and I will probably not end up living anywhere else. Just because I love my family, I love my friends, I love everyone in my life so much right now that I can't even imagine leaving ever. But at the same time, like, I don't think I could be here forever. So, I don't know. And that's the other thing with, like, now that I'm opening this whole new door of, like, looking for a career, it's like I don't want to shoehorn myself. I don't even know if that's a saying. I don't want to push myself into a corner of, like, oh, okay, I like this. I guess I'll do this now. And then just think that that's all I'm going to do. Like, I don't know. That's just what I've been thinking about because, you know, I'm graduating, which is so scary. But I'm doing it, guys. I'm doing it. The finish line is almost there. May 12th, I will be a graduated woman. Class of 2026. Let's freaking go. But anywhoomst. I'm going to shut up about that now because now I'm starting to freak myself out. And we're going to listen to 3 songs. First, we have Wars by The Mystery Divide. Then we have Caught by Runner and Bobby. And Just Friends by Camille Blackman. I just found these on my Discover Weekly today, and I liked them a lot. I know I was saying I was bored of music, which I am, but I like these ones. So we're going to listen to them, and I hope you guys enjoy them, and here we go. And once again, I exited out of the playlist because I'm silly, but Hold Please. I forget what the songs were. Hold Please, Hold Please. They were Wars by the Mystery Divide, Caught by Runner and Bobby, and Just Friends by Camille Blackman. Hope you liked them, 'cause I thought they were pretty cool, and that's why I showed them to you guys. Um, yeah, I don't know. Like, I feel like I'm just beating a dead horse now of, like, talking about this, but it is truly an insane and transformative period. And if you know me personally, you know that all my friends are older than me by, like, a few years. I obviously have some friends that are my age, but, like, majority of my friends have been graduated from college maximum, like, 4 years ago. Um, and that's kind of, like, helped me out a little bit, I think, because, like, I'm still seeing them, and, like, their life is not unreachable, I guess. Like, their life is not so amazing and vast and broad that I'm like, oh my god, I'm never going to be able to do that, and now I have to do that? Like, what? All of their jobs are attainable. Or, not jobs, sorry. Lives are attainable to me. I'm not saying that like, their lives aren't extraordinary and awesome, because they are. Like, they're all musicians. They're all amazing people who are just living life in a good and fulfilling way that makes them happy, and that makes me happy. But it has put everything kind of into perspective of, like, there is no set way of living, and, like, there's no wrong way of living, if that makes sense. Like, some of my friends have just moved out of their apartment at the age of 20, or just moved out of their parents' house at the age of 25. Some people I know are still living with their parents at the age of 25. Some people have cars. Some people don't even have their driver's license yet. Some people have full-time jobs. Other people have part-time jobs. Like, it's all over the place. Some people are married. Like, it's, like, all over the place, and there's not one set thing, if that makes sense. And that makes me feel a lot better about how I'm entering the world, the real world, the adult world, because I know that no matter what I do, it won't be wrong, unless I, like, end up in jail or something. But, like, I'm not going to end up in jail. Watch 10 years, Emily Kurzenski, jail. I literally will never be in jail. But I just know I won't do it. There's nothing I can do wrong, because there's no right way, I guess. And that's something that, whether my friends know it or not, that they've all taught me that just by watching them live. And, like, obviously you have family members who are older than you too that you can learn from, but it's a little bit different when it's your friend, because when you're a friend with someone, that's like, you kind of completely let your guard down with a friend. Or if you don't, you should. Where you just kind of talk about your everyday life and, like, what you're going through and, like, what's going on, because you need a little support system. And, like, my friends being older and, like, talking to me about these problems and things like that, like, I now understand what I'm going into and what I'm seeing and what I'm going to have to deal with, and I know that it's all normal. And it's scary, but everyone's doing it, and nobody's doing it wrong. It's everyone's first time on earth. So, I don't know. That's, like, something that I'm carrying into this, because it makes me a little bit more at ease and a little bit more comfortable with the idea of never having to be a student again, and never having my life kind of planned out for me, in a sense, which I will talk more on that in a little bit. But right now it's the dad joke portion of the show. I'm kind of all over the place today, but whatever. Today's dad joke is, this one is actually from my dad's good friend Jeff Hildebrand. Shout out the Hildebrands. But he said, I asked my friend Nick for 5 cents, but he couldn't give it to me because he's Nicholas. Oh my god. That's actually really good. He's Nicholas. Wait, that one's really good. I was reading it, I was like, I don't get it. Oh, that's good. Shout out Jeff. That was one of the top ones we've had in a minute. But no shade to my dad, but that one was funny. But anyways, now we have the dad jam. Today is Beauty is Only Skin Deep by the Temptations. My dad saw the Temptations and the Four Tops together in Atlantic City about 30 years ago, and it was one of his favorite concerts ever. Awesome sauce. So I hope you guys enjoy today's dad jam, and here we go. And once again, that was today's dad jam. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I forget what it's called, but I know it's by the Temptations. Um, but I was kind of touching on this earlier. The like having your life kind of planned out for you aspect of schooling, and it holds some truth and it holds some dishonesty. But like in college, I think you have a little bit more leeway, but you're still living by due dates. I know I've talked about this on the show before where like I was trying to tackle not living by due dates, and like I did the 6-7 thing. But not living by due dates and like having your life and then also your due dates, which I think I've mastered, but I still have the due dates. So like to a point, the way you're spending your free time is determined by what project you're working on or what school assignment you have and like what homework you have to do. So I think the thing that I'm most scared for, especially since I'm a design major and all of my time is taken away by school, is kind of finding how to spend that time again. 'Cause in high school, like, yeah, of course I had homework, but like I kind of would finish it hella fast. And I also had sports, so I would have practice and games and things like that dictated my time. But now I don't have sports, and now I'm not going to have homework. So it's going to be that weird limbo of like, okay, what do I spend my time on? Because this is the first time in my life I won't have my time dictated by really any outside source unless like my parents want me to do something or like my friends need my help or like whatever. It's just going to be like random parties that I have to go to and things like that. It's just going to be I have full control of that time, and it's totally up to me how I spend it. So that's another thing that's going to be crazy. It's just like insane that my whole life I've been known as a student. And now I'm not going to be known as a student. That's not a label that I'm going to have. Obviously, I'm known as other things. Like, I'm known as the Groove. I'm known as an artist, a designer, like whatever else people know me as. But student has always been a huge badge that I wore. And in a few weeks, I won't be wearing that badge anymore. I will be college graduate. Which that probably won't even make up that much of my personality because it's just like, okay, I'm not even in college anymore. So, I don't know. It's very weird, scary, exciting, nerve-wracking, terrifying point in my life that I will be entering. And we will see where it takes me and where the groove goes from along with me. But now I'm going to give you some announcements because the groove is sticking around for right now. And next week we have an interview with Red Letter Radio. And you guys might recognize Eric from my Simply Sedated interview that I did like 3 years ago, I think. But yeah, I actually have Eric and Simply Sedated to thank for the fact that I even do interviews at all, because I never even thought about that until they asked about it. So fun little fact right there. But yeah, Red Letter Radio is Eric's newest project, and they just dropped an album on April 10th, and you should all check it out right now to get yourself pumped for next week, if I remember to drop it next week. But that interview will be out soon. And in the meantime, I hope you all have a wonderful day, week, month, year, and always remember to stay groovy.